So we've wedged the clay out. Now we've flattened it. I've just flattened it out with my palm. Get the clay pretty close to where you want it. So right now I'm going to break it up. I got my form. I'm looking at the template itself. I'm going to end up taking this apart. But right now I just want to get a slab that's going to work for this particular template. Okay, so I'm going to cut this up into thirds. This may not work out, but right now we're just going to set that because that's a lot of clay.
Notice he is not starting with a big wad or a ball of clay.
Yeah. You
flatten it out somewhat before you roll it with your guide.
So these are the rolling guides here. About a quarter of an inch, a little over a quarter of an inch. And then so I'm gonna stretch this out with my rolling pin.
And he started rolling toward the center.
Yep, and I start working that out like that.
And notice how it's stretching. It's elongating.
So I may at this point, it's way larger than what I need. I'm still gonna continue to cut that off, set it aside, stretch this. I do have an idea of the size for this particular template. Now I'm gonna take this. If I roll too long, it'll end up sticking to the
board underneath.
The masonite underneath, yeah. So here I am.
This clay's pretty plastic.
Yeah. So I'm there. So this is the thickness of the dowel rods. So right now I want to get a rib. Put this here. Get a rib and compress this. So what I'm looking for is, did we get this wedged up right? Are there bubbles coming to the surface when we're doing this? And so that's what I'm looking for, because pretty much we're done with this slab. I might turn it over, really work that, compress it, make that lay down real nice. And then I'll set this.
All right, so he's got the slab.
Yeah,
how are we going to store this?
So I'm scraping down, of course, my area. I'm going to set this aside because I'm going to roll a lot more here. But now that I have my slab, I'm going to set this on the newspaper.
And please notice how he's storing the newspaper. You do not need a bunch of papers. You need one piece.
So if I grab my form, let me grab that real quick. Come over here. I know that most likely I could get, if I look at this, I could probably get two out of that pretty easily, without even taking my form apart. So I'm gonna cut this in half already. Now I may take this and make this thinner later, but this is the thickness that we're looking at right now. Mm-hmm. So when I fold this, this is kind of what I do. I just kind of fold the paper over, and then this is how I'm storing it. So I'm making sure that like these creases and stuff, get rid of them. Put your other piece on there. Now I got 1, 2 sides done. I need 2 more, like the side and the bottom. So the bottom's pretty small. So I really don't need much more here. This obviously can take care of the bottom. I might be able to stretch this enough to get that. I don't know. Let's stretch it out and see. So we'll try it, and if not, we'll just continue to use another piece to make the slab. Probably not going to get it. Didn't stretch much. So, but I definitely can get the base out of this. So I've stretched that. We're going to go ahead, probably cut the base just a little bit. Not a little bit bigger, quite a bit bigger. Let's set that aside for the base of my pot. And then I'm going to come over here, do the same thing. Now all this stuff, as of now, can go back in the bucket. It doesn't need to sit out and dry.
Or if you have some extra, share it with someone else at your table.
So if someone's just needing a base, you might be like, hey, make your base out of that. There you go. So same thing here. I'm trying to get all my tools out of the way. Remember, check your slab so it doesn't get stuck.
And if the clay is plastic, don't roll it out on the table.
It will stick, definitely. You'll have problems. There it is, like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this over here, put my form on there, be like, okay, so this is enough. I don't need more than that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to wrap more than that up, and then
Then it's just going to get really hard, and then it's more to recycle.
okay, so there we go. So we're done with that portion. Okay.
Well, let's show them how to put it in the bag too.
Okay.
How you need to wrap this so it doesn't dry out. If you just leave it out like this, you're going to come back another day, especially over the weekend, and it's going to be completely dried out. And then you have to start over.
So I like to start wrapping up on the edge of the bag, and I'll tuck that in, pull this around like that.
Like you're a butcher wrapping up a nice
Yeah,
slab of meat there.
and that's how it's gonna go.
There you go. Do not wrap this all the way around your bat.
The bat actually, look here at the masonite. It is absorbing water out of it, so that is a good indicator if you leave that on your bat that it will dry it out.
Yep. There you go. That's the goal.